It's all fun and games until an event in your personal life blindsides you like Randy Orton's RKO. If you know, you know. And no matter how nonchalant you think you are, you're not invincible to a life event crumbling your world from the ground up and carving an invisible bullet wound into your chest. However, when we are constantly dealing with multiple areas of life, it's hard to find the time to address things that are bothering us. In the short term, it doesn't bother us too much, but over time, the effects can be detrimental. When the painful experiences that we encounter throughout our lives don't leave us as quickly as they came, finding a way to process our emotions and have healthy outlets becomes more valuable. This is especially important when accessing a support system is more difficult than just sitting back and watching as your mental health jumps into the middle of the ocean with rocks tied at its feet. So, that being said, this week's topic is dealing with unpleasant emotions as an adult. Unfortunately, we can't just be in the school toilets crying while our best friend hugs us when something upsets us anymore. Part 1. The what? What is happening on the inside? Life problems have no conscience. They sweep in like tornadoes, devoid of any apologetic nature, and decimate everything positioned in their sight. And sometimes you just have to act like certain things didn't happen because your shift starts in 45 minutes. And sometimes, I won't lie, it may even be preferable to get stuck in at work rather than address the personal issues that you're facing, because when there are bills to pay, listen, it becomes second nature to ignore the instances where life unexpectedly draws its fist and bangs you so hard in the face that your brain mistakes north for south. Often, personal issues are put on the back burner of your mind to prevent everything else from being sent into disarray. It's like channeling all your strength into holding up a building, and the very idea of it crashing down gives you a fear that fuels your strength. This building contains all the things that we juggle in life, whether we actively think about it or we don't. If it were to fully crumble, it could take years to pick up the pieces. And personal struggles are like careless squatters that have seized access to every room within the building. They fill it with clutter, plow through the walls for fun, smash your belongings through windows, and set entire floors on fire. If they're left without consequence for too long, the building will crumble from the inside out. But if you leave your post, the building crumbles from the ground up. Watching the bricks violently rain from above is a clear signal that you can't do this forever. And you most definitely can't do this on your own. But who's going to help you? Part 2. The why. Why is it so hard to open up to others? In my personal experience, the longer struggles go on, the harder it becomes to confide in another person. Whilst there are live bombs and missiles flying around your mind, as far as everyone else is concerned, you're fine. The dissonance between your reality and the one that others believe you to be living is huge, especially if to the outside world you seem prosperous. If people were to find out the truth, there'd be a shock to their perception of you, and you'll feel a sense of shame because of this. And as your truth comes to the light and others see what was truly going on in your life, the facade of what you wanted to believe about your life is broken. It's kind of like when we were in school and each student would get a number from the teacher on a scrap piece of paper, and then the number would decide the group that you were in. Every one of your friends will get the same number, but you, just you, get assigned to another group with people you don't even like, and you're sat on the opposite side of the classroom. In the middle of cussing out the teacher in your head, you refocus your energy on an idea to switch your number with that of the quiet guy in the group that your friends are in. Your extroverted energy overpowers his shyness, and he agrees to switch with you even though he's scared to get in trouble. It works for a while. As you're sat in a circle around the table, the backs of your friends shield you from the teacher's side. Little did you know, the numbers weren't random. The teacher had the numbers assigned to names on the register, and as soon as she saw the quiet guy in the wrong group, she sensed that something was off. She swiftly reassigns you to the original group, and the whole class watches you do the walk of shame in silence. In this scenario, you, as the student, took hold of a reality that wasn't yours to begin with, but you were quickly brought back down to earth and you wanted anything but that. Furthermore, the longer you don't talk about things, the more complex they get, especially if you're being burdened with complex ongoing struggles. The thoughts that no one will understand outweigh the I need a shoulder to cry on thoughts, so the tunnel gets deeper and you get more isolated. The realities are that you know that you can pick up the phone and call a friend, but you can see that everyone else has their own lives to live and their own struggles, so you don't want to impede on that. Feeling like a burden or a leech is a feeling that most people are allergic to, or at least I hope they are, I don't know. So you'd rather just kick it with your friends as usual rather than kill the vibe with the situation that you're in, regardless of how happy they would be to help you out. Also, therapy is expensive. to say the least. Personally, if I ever needed to go to therapy, I'd write a dissertation of every trial, tribulation, trauma that I'd ever experienced in life, make a block number of bookings to go through each chapter as though it was a school curriculum, tick off each chapter one by one, and then never see them ever again. This is not to say that therapy is bad, but like when dinero, Great British pounds, is involved, all suffering seems feasible, I can't lie. Part 3, the how. How to make the dark times more bearable. Being a better friend in the first place is number one. I say this because sometimes not confiding in friends may be as a result of guilt from not giving them the love and appreciation that they deserve in the first place, so expressing your burdens is now rude. If we're better friends from the jump, hitting your friend up because you need some help right now shouldn't be that deep. Asking yourself whether or not this person would feel comfortable reaching out to you in times of trouble is a decent starting point. Number 2 is having an outlet, something personal and something mind-clearing. For me, it's reading my Bible, the gym, reading, roller skating, finding memes on Pinterest, and writing my favorite one. Whatever your thing is, tap into it. On the normal days, it's something you enjoy, but on the bad days, it's a crutch, even when you don't feel like it. If you're one of those people who doesn't know what they're into, something as simple as just chilling in the park is more than what you think it is. The solutions above aren't problem solvers, they're problem improvers. The reality is that some things will be out of your control in how they affect you, but the only thing that you can do is manage it within your ability to do so. Furthermore, sometimes we expect complicated problems to have complicated solutions, so we won't believe that something will work for us just because it sounds so simple. And sometimes we expect another person's advice to be a solution when really it's just a soother. It's like when we use hot water bottles on our period to soothe our cramps, and the hot water bottle doesn't solve the problem, but it does suppress it enough for us to want to use it. Likewise, if you're going through something and the first thing that your friend advises you to do is get in the gym, you go to the gym, retrieve a weight and bang them in their face with it for such a nonsense comment. However, when your emotions are suffering, trying the simple solutions doesn't hurt. They may not solve much, but they're more powerful in changing our outlook on life than we think they are. To conclude, our comfort in any situation is dependent on the time that I spend with God. Whatever is left lies in the ink of a pen, my hobbies, but sometimes I need a confidant who can just sit, listen, and give me a hug. Having outlets is easy. Using them is easier said than done. And confiding in others can sometimes feel like opening Pandora's box, as certain things will not be understandable to others without you mentioning the other things that you do not want to talk about. However, sometimes it's necessary, and we need to remember that others may be going through or may have gone through the exact same thing as you. All in all, check on your friends as you'd want them to check on you. Anyways, until next time, Alicia, the adult. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you could possibly know. Shout out to my 13 subscribers. And if you're new here, hi stranger, welcome to the club. If you find it in your heart to leave a like, comment, or subscribe, that would be appreciated. Also in the top right, there should be a link to my previous video. And if you like this one, you should like that one. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'll see you next Friday at 3 p.m. Okay, cool. I'm closing the laptop now.